guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday. Yes, so we are back, officially back for real. Now guys, do not forget to like, subscribe and share if you haven't already done so, and hit that bell button so you're notified every single time I post a brand new video. Now beautiful people, you know that Wake Up Wednesdays are always about giving you that kick up the bum, giving that motivation, and sometimes dragging you a little bit for filth, just so you can get it together and live the life that you deserve. However, I also want to use Wake Up Wednesday as an opportunity for me to help to teach a few things in order to, again, wake you up and to hopefully allow you to grab onto the reins of your life. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be talking about how to deal with anxiety, which I know is a big issue with a lot of people. Even myself, I have dealt with anxiety. I've had to walk through anxiety. Now, I will not lie, my anxiety has never been at the height of some people who I know get paralyzing anxiety. It has never been to that level. However, I have learned a few things in the process of dealing with anxiety and how you can overcome it. So if you are somebody who's maybe been dealing with anxiety for a really long time, or maybe even a short space of time, and just need some extra help in order for them to really reclaim their power and to walk in the power and the authority that I know every single one of you deserves to walk in, then keep watching. So number one, in terms of how to deal with anxiety, is one that I actually mentioned in the last Wake Up Wednesday, but it goes hand in hand, and that is to establish a new routine or a new set of rituals. I think that this is probably the biggest lesson that I learned from 2021 and the biggest thing that I'm carrying over into 2022. If you haven't watched last week's Wake Up Wednesday, go and check it out, because I drag you a little bit, I check you a little bit, but I also give you a list of things that are really, really important. So do not worry, it's a great video. Make sure you check it out. I'll link it in the description box below. But ultimately in that video, I was talking about how important it is to establish new routines, rituals, whether it's a morning routine or something that you do every single day. Just having these things in your life that then become habits that then allow you to be consistent and to be disciplined in certain areas of your life. Guys, having a routine is important. Most of the most successful people on this planet will express that they have a routine or a certain ritual that they follow because they know that that is the way that they program themselves. Guys, you need to understand, as human beings, we can be programmed and we can be deprogrammed. Most of us are programmed, for example, let's say for example, for myself, I would say, for example, that I was not necessarily programmed to put my health and fitness as a top priority. The older generation, you don't really hear them talking about health and fitness the way that we do. We are the generation that is obsessed with being your best in terms of your fitness, your health, etc., etc. But when I have conversations with older people, or I have conversations with some Africans, it's not really a top priority. Like I said, some, before you start to drag me. But guys, establishing these routines in your life is literally life-changing. I'll give an example just in case you haven't watched the video. I told you guys in the last video that I got really bad with discipline and just consistency, which is why I couldn't even manage like all the different things that were happening in my life. Over the last few weeks, I have made the commitment to myself to wake up earlier at a particular time, whether it be 5 a.m. or a 6 a.m. or a 4 a.m., depending on, where I'm at, during that period, if I've slept a little bit later. But between 4 and 6 is when I would normally wake up now. So when I wake up, my literal routine is this. I would wake up, rather than grabbing my phone, and I had to train myself to do this, programming, I would instead go and pray. My first hour is dedicated to God. So I pray, I will read my word, I will worship, etc. in the first hour. That in itself gives me peace. It gives me tranquility. It just means that any anxiousness, any anxiety, any worry, any stress is just removed from my entire body. And I used to be someone that I would wake up feeling really anxious because I had so much to do. And because I was waking up later on in the day, it felt like the day would just run past me. Whereas now I get so much more done because I'm waking up earlier and because I'm carving out that time in the beginning of the day to center myself and to actually set up how I want the rest of my day to look. The start of your day often determines how your day is going to go. The start of your day often determines how your week might even go. So if you start your day off right, you are setting the tone for the rest of your day. And that in itself can reduce so much anxiety. So whether it is that you are in need of establishing a new morning morning routine, i.e., okay, instead of going on my phone, I'm going to wake up every morning, I'm going to pray, I'm going to meditate, whatever it is that works for you. I'm going to drink a glass of water. So that's another thing. I've started drinking water first thing in the morning. And then after that, I am going to sit down for 5 minutes. I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm going to take deep breath. Whatever it is, guys, create those morning routines so that anxiety can physically leave your body, because you are allowing yourself to get into a space in the morning where you are taking back control, where you are establishing that, hey, I'm not going to let the day do me. I'm going to do the day. Number 2, how to overcome anxiety. Number 2 is really important, and that is being kinder to yourself. I know that it's easier said than done. I know that everyone screams it off the rooftop these days. Be kinder to yourself, be nicer to yourself. But guys, this is so important. Some of us are so hard on ourselves. We are constantly thinking negatively about ourselves. We are constantly in a state of panic. We are constantly in a place where we feel like we are failures, or that we failed, or that we're not good enough because of things that have happened before. Guys, I know that it is a difficult thing to come out of, but it is so important to be kinder to yourself. Whether that mean that you need to go to therapy and counseling, which is actually one of the points that I have coming up, in order for you to actually deal with those negative thoughts or those negative patterns in your life. Go to counseling and therapy. Seek the help that you need in order for you to have peace within yourself. Whether it be that you need to increase your spiritual life. So for example, me, I'm a person of faith, and I often know that when I start to get really, really anxious, I'm being really negative towards myself, I feel like I'm not doing anything right, is because I have moved away from my faith, my foundation, which is God, which is my relationship with God. So I know, okay, do you know what, Nissy, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to go into a time of prayer. Separate yourself from the world right now. Go into a time of prayer, read your word, worship. And that for me helps to reduce all the anxiety, the stress and the worry that I have connected to all the things that I am doing. But you have to learn to be kinder to yourself. Now, I'm going to give you a tip on how you can actually be kinder to yourself, especially if your anxiety is mostly built up from negative thought patterns that you have in your mind. This is actually something that I did with one of my girls from the Powerclass Programme. So by now, you should know that I run the Powerclass Programme. The link is in the description box below, so you can know what it's all about. But essentially, one of my ladies from the Powerclass Programme basically, had a one-to-one with me and was basically just saying that they, were having a lot of negative thoughts and they couldn't break out of this repeated cycle of negativity. So I said, you know what? Sometimes you have to shock yourself into seeing what you are saying to yourself in order for you to understand that it is unacceptable. Because the things that you say to yourself, you would never say to a friend. So what I told her to do was I told her to start texting me every single time a negative thought comes up in her mind, to text me that same negative thought. So whether it be, and I'm not going to use ones that she said, but let's just say it's, you're never going to get the promotion, or you don't deserve to be happy, whatever it is, she would literally text me every single time. And we did this for the space of a week. And she would text me every single time she said a negative word. And those negative words were all things that she was overthinking, constantly overthinking, which led to anxiety. And by her sending it, I wanted her to be able to physically see and read what it was that she was saying to herself. Because when all of a sudden it comes from out of your head and it goes to something physical where you can see it yourself, all of a sudden you start to recognize that that thing isn't right, and you can't exist in that way. You cannot allow yourself to live in a cycle where you are constantly saying all these negative things, because guess what? What you think of yourself and what you say to yourself matters. So if you are someone that deals with a lot of negative thinking that leads to a lot of anxiety, I want you to challenge yourself. Pick a friend or someone that you can hold yourself accountable to, a family member, a loved one, someone that genuinely cares about your growth and you moving forward. And I want you to literally say to them, okay, I know this is going to sound super weird, but I'm going to text you every single time I have a negative thought. What that also does is that it also allows you to catch the negative thought. So because you know that you're going to send it and text it to somebody, and you don't want to say all these horrible things to the person, because in those texts, I literally told her to say, you are X, Y, and Z, as though she is saying that I am that thing that she's thinking negatively about. You don't want to say that to that person. So you're going to start creating this new program in your mind where you catch yourself, rather than just letting it go and letting it slip and saying it and then moving on to something else, then going back and saying it again. All of a sudden you're catching it because you're like, damn, I'm going to have to go and tell Nissy about this. Okay, cool. I need to know. I now need to understand that I need to reprogram. I can't keep functioning like that because I can't talk to her, i.e. myself, in that way. Number 3, and this is a really important one, especially for people like me who love a to-do list. I write out a to-do list every single day. But guys, number 3 is cut down your to-do list. Some of us are literally self-inflicting anxiety, stress, worry, whatever you want to call it, because our to-do lists are just too long. This is something that I really had to pull in because I am the queen of to-do lists. I would get so stressed out if I didn't complete the stuff on my to-do list. But now I'm just in a completely different mindset because I recognize that my mental well-being, my general well-being, my whole well-being as a whole is so much more important. Now, does that mean that I don't do the work? I don't work hard? I don't push myself? That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that instead of getting anxious, which used to happen to me all the time, if I know it's coming towards the end of the day and I haven't finished things on my to-do list, I'll start getting loads of anxiety. Instead of doing that, I will literally cut down my to-do list to things that are realistic for me to do in that day. And this is the issue that a lot of us have. We are not realistic with what we need to get done. We put about 20 things on our to-do list and then cry when we don't achieve half of them. Put a realistic amount. So for me, a realistic amount is about 6 to 7 things on my to-do list, which for some people, it's like, Missy, that's still insane. But for me, I'm a hyper productive person. When I'm on a roll and I want to get things done, I just like to get things done. So if, for example, I know, okay, do you know what? For example, today is a Thursday, it's content day. So I filmed about 4 different videos today and I'm just like, okay, let's keep going. But at the same time, I also know that there are some videos that I actually haven't had a chance to do because literally, what's the time now? It's coming up to 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I've got to leave here, go and pick up some stuff from Wilco because we are doing vision boards with my girls in the Powerclass Programme. And I know that if I don't just leave it, I'm going to stress myself out and get anxious. So I set myself the time. I said 5 p.m. is literally 10 till 5 now. So at 5 p.m., I'm going to stop whatever it is that I'm doing. It's okay that I haven't finished filming all the videos that I wanted. I've done the YouTube videos, but I wanted to do Reels. I haven't had a chance to do Reels today. That is absolutely fine. I'm going to carry it over to tomorrow. Nobody dies. It's okay. It's not time sensitive, i.e. it's not a client waiting for content, etc. So I can breathe. So please, my beautiful people, cut down your to-do list. Number 4, which I kind of mentioned before, so I will not go into it in too much detail, but that is get professional help if you need it. Beautiful people, there is nothing wrong with therapy. There is nothing wrong with counseling. There's nothing wrong with coaching. There's nothing wrong with having a life coach or different people in your life that can professionally, on a professional level, help you out of certain situations. Okay, so please, I know that not everyone has the means. I know not everyone can. But if you can, get professional help, because sometimes your anxiety can be tied to things that are, from traumatic past experiences or tied to certain things that we might be suppressing in our mind. And sometimes you need to sit down with a professional in order to work those things out. So if you know you've tried all these different things, you've tried a new routine, you've tried this, you tried that, and nothing seems to be working, I encourage you, let 2022 be the year where you invest in yourself and you say, do you know what? I'm going to get therapy. I'm going to get counseling. I'm going to, get a life coach. I'm going to get someone that can coach me through certain things. Because I truly do believe that sometimes some people need that added help or that added walk down the path, and that is okay. So please, if you want to reduce your anxiety, if you want to overcome anxiety, and you know you've suffered with it for a long time, especially if you get crippling anxiety where it's like you get so anxious and you can't do anything, make sure you go and seek some professional help. Number 5, and I think this is probably the most important one for me personally, and it is surround yourself with the right people and people that can just add to your life. Guys, the people in your life are so important. There's a saying that goes, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are, or something like that. It goes something like that, but you get the gist. Ultimately, guys, that phrase just says, the people that you have around you are a reflection of who you are. So if you have people that are constantly talking about being anxious and nervous all the time, or people that are really negative all the time, or people around you that are literally not edifying you in any way, it might be time, guys, and I've spoken about this before, but it might be time for you to cut them off. Now, I'm not saying cut them off in the way that people like to describe it these days, like like being disrespectful and I'm going to burn that bridge and I don't care. And do you know what? I'm going to tell you what it is and then cut the bridge. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying being mature, and I'm saying having maybe even a conversation with that person, just saying, do you know what? I have loved our friendship. You have been such a vital part of my life. But right now, I just feel as though I need to go a separate way. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is that you cannot control how that person reacts, but you can control how you respond. So that person may turn around and cuss you and say whatever and drag you, but you are in control of yourself. So you, even if they do that, it is your responsibility to just walk away. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to whatever. That's all toxic, and we're not doing any of that in 2022. You can just walk away. You have that power to walk away. But when you surround yourself with people who edify you, and I've had people ask me before, I have lost a lot of friends currently. I remember this particular question. Someone said, I've lost a lot of friends currently and I'm trying to surround myself with the right people, but where do I find these people? Guys, we have something beautiful called social media. You can even go online and connect with people online. Yes, it might seem like you're begging friends or whatever you want to call it, but literally some of my greatest friendships are with people that I've spoken to online. Some people, guys, that I've never even met in person, and yet online we have a great relationship and we talk like we are, great friends. So I would definitely suggest utilizing social media now that the world is kind of starting to open up again, going to events, connecting with people, putting yourself out there, which I know can be very anxiety inducing, but guys, it's like a muscle. You have to work that muscle in order for it to grow. So you need to put yourself out there and go to these new events, approach new people, just start conversations. And also one thing that I would definitely add to that as well is connecting with people authentically. So not connecting with people and pretending to be someone that you're not, but genuinely connecting with people, because those are the people that are going to edify you. Those are the people that will add to your life. But surround yourself with people who are amazing. Guys, I am so blessed because I have some of the most amazing people on the planet around me. My friends, my family, literally, guys, I know that I am super blessed. I know that not everyone has that, but one thing that I can say to you guys is that, it is so important, because in moments where I feel down, in moments where I feel stressed, in moments where I feel anxious, it's those people in my life that I can talk to and who will be like, okay, cool, let's pray. Or they'll be like, okay, no problem, Missy. If you need any help, let me know. Or if you need to talk, there will be a listening ear in order for me to express what it is that's making me feel anxious or overwhelmed or whatever it is. Honestly, guys, surround yourself with the right people, and I promise you will see a big difference in your anxiety levels. Okay, guys, so those are my top tips on how to overcome anxiety. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was helpful. If it was, let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. And as I said before, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, and make sure you hit the bell button so you're notified every single time I post a brand new video. And with that, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you again next week for another Wake Up Wednesday.